Later on NBC, join Jay and The Tonight Show as they welcome scheduled guests Will Smith, Haley Joel Osment, and Carly Simon. Your local news is next.
And stay tuned for the Channel 4 News next. You're looking live at the Men's Central Jail. 1 hour from now, some inmates will be walking out early before their terms are up. We'll show you why. And Steven Spielberg gets a prestigious award tonight, the youngest person ever to get it. The news begins just 60 seconds from right now.
It's the 15-hour sale, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. this Saturday at Robinson's May. The savings event you've been waiting for, with unbelievable store-wide savings of up to 50% in every Robinson's May store. Save up to 50% on fashions and accessories for your entire family. Plus, terrific savings for your home. Buy now, no payments until August with 0% financing. Shop 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. this Saturday. The 15-hour sale at Robinson's May. The one sale you can't afford to miss.
In the years to come, thousands of people will be protected because of a significant innovation from Volvo. Volvo introduces the world's first side impact airbag. Drive safely.
You are watching Channel 4 News, coverage you can count on. Now, live in Southern California, this is Channel 4 News at 11.
This is the Inmate Reception Center at the Men's Central Jail in downtown Los Angeles. And in just 1 hour from now, some convicts will leave this center. They're leaving jail early, before their terms are up. A total of 3,000 inmates going back out onto the streets, all because of a battle over money. Good evening, it's 11 o'clock. I'm Kelly Lang.
And I'm Chuck Henry. Paul is off tonight.
And our top story on the news at 11 o'clock at a time when police are trying to battle the war on crime. L.A. County is about to release 3,000 inmates early from some of its jails. The reason, Sheriff Sherman Block says he has to cut the prisoners loose to comply with county budget-cutting orders. And he says he has to close 2 jail centers altogether. This one is one of the jails that he plans to shut down completely. Patrick Healy is live at the Men's Central Jail. Scene where the first release is set to happen in about 1 hour from now. Patrick, what have you learned?
Well, Kelly, the process actually takes several hours, but it is scheduled to begin at midnight. Early release, a controversial solution to budget woes, but push has come to shove. Nearly 21,000 custodies in the L.A. County jail system. Over the next 2 weeks, 3,000 of them will be released, even though they have not yet finished their terms. Sheriff spokesman Sergeant Ron Spears says it's the department's response to a squeezing budget.
Yeah, this isn't consistent with the Board of Supervisors' directive to reduce our budget by $7.3 million by the end of this fiscal year and then $28 million in next fiscal year. And that will require the closure of 2 of our facilities, the Biscaloo Center here in East Los Angeles and the ranch facility up at the Pichasana Rancho in Saugus.
Those to be released are serving sentences for misdemeanor crimes, not felonies, but they could include some convicted of driving under the influence and carrying concealed guns.
Most of the people who are being released will be released based upon the amount of time they've served on their sentence, with the people who've served in the most amount being released first.
This echoes of an earlier budget crisis 2 years ago, when the sheriff also proposed early release and closing jails.
Crime, violence, and the debilitating sense of fear have increased, but the numbers of our personnel available to face these challenges have not.
Back then, county supervisors found emergency funding. There is no guarantee that will happen again this time. So the plan is for the Sheriff's Department to release 200 to 300 inmates every day over the course of the next 2 weeks until they have reached this 3,000 number. Whether it gets that far, well, we will see. There is sure to be fireworks at the next meeting of the Board of Supervisors. Live at Men's Central Jail, Patrick Healy, Channel 4 News. Chuck?
Thanks, Patrick. Our other top story tonight, we're back on storm watch throughout the Southland. Rain was falling tonight, heavy at times. These pictures were taken in Hollywood. It happened throughout the state. Tonight, rain, setting a record for this date up in Sacramento. In San Francisco, all day rain. Headaches for commuters, rain, fog, and plenty of accidents. Fritz has been tracking this latest round of rain, and here he is to tell us what to expect next. Fritz?
Why, thank you, sir. Well, folks, you may be getting a break in the action in your area right now, but don't be fooled. There could be more stuff possible overnight tonight and throughout the day tomorrow. The current Doppler radar is showing an area of light to moderate rain showers in central and southern Ventura counties tonight, all moving northeast at about 20 miles an hour. Most of what we've seen tonight has been generally light. Between 6 and 9 o'clock tonight, the average accumulation was only about 1/10 of an inch of rain. Will we spend a wet weekend? And what about the marathon weather? Well, I have all that when I come back with my regular AccuWeather forecast in a few minutes. Stay tuned.
Okay, Fritz, thank you. And now turning to the latest developments in the O.J. Simpson trial. Today, back on the stand, Rosa Lopez, Simpson's so-called alibi witness, facing hours of cross-examination. The grueling questioning being dished out by this man, prosecutor Chris Darden, who managed to catch Rosa Lopez in several apparent contradictions. And at one point, defense attorney Johnny Cochran is caught making gestures toward the witness, and the prosecution accuses him of prompting Lopez. And Lopez herself, after 3 days of testimony, she is still not finished. She's due back in court tomorrow morning. Jim Avila is here with more on today's events and how they unfolded in court. Jim?
Kelly, there were no tears from Rosa Lopez today, no flashes of temper. Instead, there were confusion, contradiction, and memory loss.
Rosa Lopez was challenged on everything from her age to her alibi, accused of lying, accused of carrying a grudge against Nicole Brown Simpson, and idolizing her husband, O.J.
Isn't it true that you told her, O.J. Simpson is a great guy, and I'll testify to anything, anytime?
No me acuerdo. I don't remember.
You're not denying having made that statement, then?
Pero no está negando que usted dijo eso, entonces. Es que no me acuerdo si se lo dije, ¿no? It's that I don't remember if I said that or not.
Lopez appeared shaken by a charge that she had taken a bribe to concoct an alibi for her friend, Mr. Simpson, especially when prosecutors implied that her friend, Sylvia, a fellow housekeeper, might be telling the jury that very soon.
Isn't it true that you told Sylvia Guerrero that you were going to be paid to testify in this case?
No, señor. No, sir.
And isn't it true that you told that if she would say that she saw the Bronco, that she could also get paid $5,000?
No me acuerdo haberle dicho eso, señor. I don't remember having said that, sir.
But mostly, Rosa Lopez could not remember. Not who she met with over the weekend to discuss her testimony, not when she talked to defense investigator Bill Pavlik about the Bronco.
Do you have a hard time remembering times?
¿A usted le cuesta recordar horas? Si no la tengo apuntada, ¿cómo me voy a acordar? If I don't have it written down, how can I remember?
Exactly, say prosecutors, about the only witness that has stepped forward to say she saw O.J. Simpson's Bronco at the mansion on the murder night. And now Rosa Lopez has faltered on when she made that sighting. It's no longer a firm 10:15 to 10:20.
Mr. Pavlik is the one that first suggested 10:15 or 10:20, correct?
El señor Pavlik fue la primera persona en sugerir que fue como a las 10:15 o las 10:20, ¿correcto? Si eso es lo que dice él, está bien. If that's what he's saying, that's fine.
The relentless cross-examination of Rosa Lopez continues tomorrow morning, and then comes the big job for the defense, the rehabilitation of its key alibi witness during what is called redirect, another round of questions. Kelly and Chuck.
Thanks, Jim. Prosecutor Marcia Clark is involved in not one but two battles tonight. One, of course, the high-profile battle in court, the O.J. Simpson case. The other, her personal battle with her ex-husband for custody of their children. And the O.J. Simpson trial is an issue in this custody fight. Beverly White is up in the newsroom now with more for us. Bev?
Chuck, the lead prosecutor in the Simpson case is accused of spending too little time with her young children. That claim comes from Marcia Clark's ex-husband in his petition for primary custody. As Marcia Clark represents the people in the case against O.J. Simpson, it appears her ex-husband is trying to make a case against her. Gordon Clark, computer engineer, claims he has more time to spend with their 3- and 5-year-old sons than does the deputy DA. Gordon Clark now wants primary custody. Marcia Clark's response? I am devoted to my 2 children who are far and away more important to me than anything. I feel it is inappropriate for me to discuss the details of my divorce or child custody case in the media. Late last week, Marcia Clark reminded the court of her child care concerns and asked for the cancellation of a surprise late court session.
I can't be here. And if the court had informed me...
Ms. Clark, I'm sorry. I apologize to you. I had forgotten that problem.
Gordon Clark refers to such problems in his custody petition, saying the Clark boys are starved for affection. In these court papers, Marcia Clark admits the Simpson case has her pulling 16-hour days, 6 or 7 days a week. So she's asking her ex-husband for more child support to offset child care costs. And Marcia Clark's attorney says, we have not filed a formal response to the custody demand. The entire facts will be heard in front of the family law judge. And a hearing on the Clark custody dispute is set for next Tuesday in Superior Court. District Attorney Gil Garcetti says media attention into this matter is unwarranted and unfair. Chuck?
Thanks, Bev. So the next event in the O.J. Simpson case is tomorrow morning at the unusual time of 8:45 a.m. Rosa Lopez will be back on the witness stand. You can see it all live right here on Channel 4. Kelly?
In the nation's capital, after 2 nights of postponed votes, the Senate finally voted on the balanced budget amendment today. It lost. GOP leaders were only 2 votes short of a victory. Critics of the amendment say it will lead to a raid on Social Security. But Republicans vow to fight on. Majority Leader Bob Dole says he will bring it up for a vote again just in time for the '96 elections. And this story tonight with sketchy details. In Fort Riley, Kansas, the Army is saying very little about a shooting tonight that killed 2 soldiers and wounded another. It happened here at the Army post at Fort Riley. Authorities very tight-lipped tonight, except to say that no military weapon was used. It's believed that one of the soldiers who was killed was in fact the gunman, but again, the Army is not confirming or denying that tonight. More information as it comes to hand. Chuck?
It was a daring rescue in Miami today of a man who was dangling high over a highway bridge. The man hung by a rope off the I-95 bridge for about 4 hours. The rescue took just minutes.
Mira, look, they're doing it. They're doing it. They're doing it. They're doing it. Hey, pay attention, look. He was lowered in a matter of seconds. He was lowered in perfect condition, no injuries.
Police say the incident was an apparent suicide attempt. Fortunately, police used the man's rope as a lifeline. Kelly?
Okay, Chuck, we've got lots more news coming up, including 2 brothers, skinheads, in court, accused of a crime that has shocked the nation.
Reclusive singer Michael Jackson suddenly shows up in public today at a very sad event.
And a member of one of the hottest rock bands in the world rushed to the hospital.
Steven Spielberg is honored tonight, the youngest person ever to get this prestigious award.
And Spielberg's got Jurassic Park and E.T. I've got rain in the forecast. From the sublime to the ridiculous. Please stay tuned.
You're watching Channel 4 News at 11 with Paul Moyer and Kelly Lang. Fritz Coleman with the AccuWeather forecast, and Fred Rogan on sports. Coverage you can count on.
Later on The Tonight Show, Jay presents the other Grammy Awards.
Grammy for Best Male and Female. Pop single went to RuPaul for I've Looked at Life from Both Sides Now. Yeah!
Featuring the Judge Ito dancers. Then Jay's got a big surprise for Will Smith.
Jay, you are just so damn sweet.
Plus, Forrest Gump's Haley Joel Osment and Carly Simon, NBC Tonight.
Long ago, an Italian chef with a passion for herbs created a sauce called pesto. At Contadina, we've gone even further. Pesto with sun-dried tomatoes. Superb! Contadina refrigerated pastas and sauces. The freshest ideas in Italian cooking.
The Acura Integra Sports Coupe and Sports Sedan. Not since Hot Wheels have cars been this fun. Tracks sold separately. Lease the Integra at your Southern California Acura dealer.
The critics are calling Just Cause extraordinary. The best thriller since Silence of the Lambs. Sean Connery, Lawrence Fishburne.
Did you kill her?
Just Cause, rated R. Now playing at a theater near you.
Have you ever thought about how magic this is?
Welcome to Walmart's Better Homes and Gardens Garden Center.
You put this in the ground, and before you know it, you've got this. I love that.
You'll find the quality and experience of Better Homes and Gardens and Walmart's always low prices.
I love everything about gardening. Being outdoors, playing in the dirt, knowing how to turn this into this.
Great plants, great products, great people, great prices. Walmart.
Come on, let's get our hands dirty. Dirty.
2 brothers, age 15 and 17, and a cousin led into a Michigan courtroom today. Feet shackled, that is, arms chained to their waist. The brothers are charged with killing 3 members of their own family. The neo-Nazi movement in this country is reportedly small, but tonight proof once again that violence is one of their calling cards. In a Michigan courtroom, 3 stone-faced teens who murdered their parents and an 11-year-old brother.
You are charged in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania with the extraditable crimes of 3 counts of criminal homicide.
Etched into their foreheads, Berserker and Sieg Heil, the defiant markings of 3 about as messed up as you can get teenagers. 2 brothers and a cousin appeared in a court today after they were captured trying to contact a fellow skinhead in rural Pennsylvania, about 1,000 miles from the Michigan home where the trio stabbed and beat to death their parents and brother. The boy in the front of the judge is Brian Friedman. Standing next to the wall is a 16-year-old brother, David. Nelson Birdwell is their young cousin. For 5 years, the trio planned a revenge killing because the parents raised them in a strict Jehovah's Witness lifestyle. Well, tonight those boys are free of their parents, just as they wanted, but the shackles of justice will be around for a long time. Kelly?
Reclusive singer Michael Jackson showed up at a sad event today. He went to the funeral of a 22-month-old boy who was killed last week. Police say the boy's mother dropped him and his brother off a bridge in Long Beach. The boy's mother, Donna Fleming, was booked last week for murder and attempted murder. She did not attend the funeral of her son today. A spokesman says Michael Jackson has donated an undisclosed amount of money to the fund set up for the surviving brother. And maybe you felt it an aftershock tonight of the big 1992 Landers quake. Tonight's aftershock measured 2.3 on the Richter scale. It hit 5 miles southeast of Big Bear. It was at 7:28 tonight. No damage reported. The big Landers quake, you remember, on June 28, 1992, measured a powerful 7.6, and it was followed by, a few hours later, a 6.7 earthquake in the same Big Bear Mountain area.
And coming up in just a moment, we'll have the very latest on the weather. You're looking live at our camera, downtown L.A. Fritz in the forecast ahead.
And a member of one of the most famous rock bands in the world rushed to the hospital.
Hey, the Dodgers were playing again today. Well, sort of. The crowd leaves something to be desired.
And this man, he brought us Jurassic Park, E.T., much, much more. Now a top honor tonight for Steven Spielberg, and we'll take you there. Stay tuned.
February, the Channel 4 News. We brought you the stories worth watching for. Team Report showed you life-saving driving tips, how to catch car repair ripoffs, protecting you and your family from bacteria in soft serve. Elvis, the lost song and photos, Channel 4 exclusives. The Southland miracle that saved 2 babies. The true love story of a man who makes dreams come true with rescued dogs. The stories worth watching for happen every day on the Channel 4 News.
Coast 103 means variety. Continuous soft hits with less talk. Only on Coast 103.5 FM.
AT&T announces a world without limits. Introducing the only international calling plan with no people to pick, no countries to choose, no minimums to pay. It's AT&T True World Savings. The simplest calling plan in the world. Save 40% to everyone, everywhere, in every country. It's a world without limits, only from AT&T.
Your true voice. It's the 15-hour sale this Saturday at Robinson's May. Save up to 50% store-wide. Shop 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. this Saturday at Robinson's May.
Inside the all-new Monte Carlo is a personal space designed around you, the driver. Every instrument and control is exactly where you'd expect to find it. Every surface flows naturally into the next. And once behind the steering wheel, you find yourself in an ergonomically designed seat so comfortable, you'll be convinced it was designed especially for you. Who are we to disagree? The new Monte Carlo. It's genuine Chevrolet.
Find out how celebrity perfumes could mean the sweet smell of success for some.
That's pretty wild.
Or leave a bad taste for others, only on Extra.
Tomorrow at 7.
Well, Fritz showed you rain up and down the state. Now check out the snow. These pictures from the High Sierra. A winter storm warning tonight for the Sierra Nevada. The heaviest snow expected to pile up north of Lake Tahoe. Look out for about a foot of snow on the west side of the mountains. Good for skiers. But how are we doing out in Malibu, Fritzy?
Well, you know what? This is going to be light to moderate rain, not a big deal,
Okay.
and probably no more than a half-inch more accumulation. It's raining very hard. When you go upstairs to wrap up your responsibilities today,
Yes.
it's that unmistakable noise on our plastic roof that sounds
loud
like
up
somebody
there, too.
won at a slot machine on our roof up
It
there.
is a very strange roof.
It really is.
Yeah.
Outside tonight to various locations. I had my Stormwatch 95 strike force out tonight.
Oh, yeah.
We have a SWAT team of highly trained professionals to go out and look for rain falling in many areas. And here's what it looked like tonight. This is actual rain, no special effects. And here are the, oh my gosh, 60 for the high today, low 51. Right now we're at 59. Relative humidity, 100%. Barometer 30.04 and rising. Southeast winds at 13 miles an hour. There are all of your almanac stats. Here's some rainfall totals, what we've had so far, and really anywhere from a quarter to a half inch of rain. However, some of the Santa Barbara and Ventura County mountain sites have gotten over an inch, some of the reservoirs up there, and that's where we like it, right in the reservoirs. Really not a problem. We could add a half inch to these totals by tomorrow. Now let's show you on the satellite picture how this is stacking up and why rainfall amounts have gotten heavier. We have the northern jet stream with cold, dry air starting to come into confluence with the southern jet stream, the subtropical jet stream, really moist air, and that's causing a whole combination of things, clouds and fog and drizzle and some showers. And there could be periods of heavy rain tomorrow. Now, what do we expect to happen? Heaviest overnight tonight into Friday, maybe a quarter to a half more coastal areas, more in the upslope areas. Showers ending by noon Saturday. And then, of course, the all-important marathon. For those of you who will warm up and tape your ankles to watch it on TV, as I will do, a mixture of clouds and sun with a high of 70 and a low 52, and northern showers, meaning Santa Barbara and Ventura County. Overnight tonight, these numbers, mid and upper 50s inland, 53 here in the San Fernando Valley, inland Orange County, 50 degrees, 50 at Long Beach, 49 in the Inland Empire, where tomorrow the high will be about the warmest it will be anywhere in the valley, 64 in Fontana, 61 in most other valley sites, and low 60s at the beach. Here's your 5-day forecast. Rain off and on, maybe periods of moderate to heavy rain tomorrow. Really not much more accumulation, that misty, drizzly kind of windshield squirter gone awry thing going, you know, that deal.
Yeah, that thing.
And then we'll clear out partially Saturday afternoon and have good race day Sunday, it looks like, at this point. Should be good. Have a good night.
Get all those words in there. That's
okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
Now, the American Film Institute had a big gala in Beverly Hills tonight to present its very prestigious Life Achievement Award like it does every year. But tonight, the award went to the youngest recipient ever, movie maker extraordinaire Steven Spielberg. Garrett Glazer was there to see Spielberg make history.
What a night for Steven Spielberg. At 47, he is the youngest filmmaker ever to receive the Life Achievement Award from the American Film Institute. Many of Hollywood's most famous and powerful are here, and they're honoring an American original. More than 1,100 turned out for the event in Beverly Hills. Earlier, at a news conference, Spielberg talked about what the recognition means to him.
I think the American Film Institute has stood for all the values that filmmakers and actors and writers and producers, you know, stand for, which is creating in people's consciousness that film is an art, not just a commercial opportunity.
Many of Spielberg's colleagues, past and present, were on hand, and all we talked with seemed genuinely happy to be here.
Oh, I think no one deserves it more than Steven. I mean, I think he's clearly an icon.
He's shown people that you can take fantasy and make it a reality for people.
I can actually say in my lifetime, I think I know a genius, Steven.
So I think you could say Hitchcock had a way of making movies. You know, David Ford, the guys who have been honored here tonight, they all have very distinctive films. I think Spielberg's one of them.
Yes, tonight's event is an exclusive one, but we'll all get a chance to see the goings-on when it airs as a primetime special on NBC this May. In Beverly Hills, I'm Garrett Glazer. Chuck, Kelly?
He has all the fun. Okay, coming up, a place that Rush Limbaugh fans are rushing to. We'll show you Rush Heaven.
Also, the latest on a famous member of a rock band who was rushed to the hospital.
And in sports, bad news in the baseball talks, but that just means we go elsewhere for the highlights.
No, I sent 3. 1, 2, 3. I got them right here. Oh, the hutch has a 3-way hinge. Okay, now your fingers are pointing up, you're wiggling them? Are your palms up? Just flap and lock, flap and lock. Now, not your thumbs.
In the everyday world, you often have to explain yourself to others.
Are you flapping?
Now look at page 2.
For the world-class network from GTE,
I like that.
you simply show them.
What if we switch the pages?
Change the way you work. Change the way you live. It's amazing what you can do with the world-class network from GTE.
This Friday, be the first to see what critics are already calling the best movie of 1995.
Beautiful.
Roommates is funny, touching, and altogether wonderful film.
Just the way I like it.
A must-see. Peter Falk is sensational.
Who's telling this, you or me?
Gene Shalit says audiences are going to come out of the theater feeling on top of the world.
Don't talk to me when I'm balding.
Peter Falk, D.B. Sweeney, Roommates, rated PG. Starts Friday, March 3rd.
The Ford guys keep telling me how tough the Ranger is. I said, how tough could it be? The next thing I know, I'm in the Baja 1000. How could I know Ford is an official sponsor? 20 straight hours of impossible roads.
What?
I broke my nail.
Are you through?
Did you bring any mineral water? Slow down. No.
We gotta do this. Saving money. Saving money. Big savings. Enormous savings. Shirt off your back. Those savings on shirts, and pants, and undergarments, shoes, dresses, blouses, cabinets, towels, coffee makers, dishes, sheets. A store-wide sale. 3 days at a time. The Broadway 3-day sale.
The sale of the century, 3 days at a time. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Broadway.
Conflicting reports tonight about the condition of Mike Berry, drummer for REM, one of the hottest rock bands in the world right now. REM is in Europe promoting their latest album. Drummer Berry was hospitalized last night in Switzerland. A concert promoter who was traveling with the band said that Berry had suffered a brain hemorrhage, but a spokesperson for the band later denied that report. She says that Mike Berry is suffering from severe migraine headaches. Kelly.
And a rebirth in the name of Rush, an Ohio store that specializes in items devoted to conservative talk show host Rush Limbaugh. Open once again. It's called Current Events. It was forced to vacate a shopping mall because of protests and controversy. Now the store is open in a new location, selling Rush T-shirts, Rush mugs, books by Rush, anything and everything that celebrates Rush.
Rush.
You'll be running there.
Hey, okay. Brett Lewis is here with Sports Tonight. Fred's up. One thing they're not doing to settle the baseball strike?
Yes.
Rush.
Oh.
The baseball negotiations have broken down again. Owners and players say they're as far apart as ever on key economic issues. These talks have been going on in Scottsdale, Arizona. Many of the owners are now leaving to go to next week's owners' meeting in Florida.
I think this is my 7th trip, and I don't know when I sit back and objectively try to look at things that we've been able to move this thing hardly at all since August. So you could come to a conclusion that we just haven't had any real success.
I think the players have been trying to get a deal from day one, and that's our objective. That's the last thing we want to do is see this thing drag on.
In Fort Lauderdale, Tommy Lasorda's wannabe Dodgers taking on Buck Showalter's almost Yankees. You can't tell a player with a scorecard. Top of the 6th, Jay Kirkpatrick with a hot bat cranks it deep to right center. First of 2 homers for him on the day. Dodgers beat the Yankees 11-3.
This is our team representing the Dodgers in the spring training games, or if during the season when the players come back. I hope they come back real soon.
Oh, don't we all? When the Clippers play at the sports arena, it's in front of a few close friends and relatives. When they go down to the pond in Anaheim, they're treated like an NBA powerhouse. Coach Bill Fitch doesn't care how many are in the stands. He just wants to upset Seattle. First half. Clips win the battle of the boards here. Malik Sealy to Pooh Richardson with the bounce pass to Lamont Murray for the jam. Clippers lead by 7. Sonics have won 6 straight against the Clippers. Terry DeHare ends up on his derriere. Sonics on the break. Kendall Gill behind the back pass to Gary Payton for the lay-in. Now here's the coaches winning. Sonics by 9 at the half. George isn't having fun. Second half, all Seattle. Sean Kemp jams in 2 of his 21. This is no fun. Clips lose big, 116-88. At Madison Square Garden, Madonna finds out the Knicks are busy this weekend. Sorry. Knicks host to Gary Payton for the lay-in. Now here's the coaches winning. Sonics by 9 at the half. George isn't having fun. Second half, all Seattle. Sean Kemp jams in 2 of his 21. This is no fun. Clips lose big, 116-88. At Madison Square Garden, Madonna finds out the Knicks are busy this weekend. Sorry. Knicks hosting the Bulls. Scottie Pippen with the ball. Stumbles. Throws up the off-balance shot. It goes. He had 28. Bulls by 16 at the half. The Knicks rally in the 4th. Anthony Mason hits the jumper. 15 of his 26 scored in the period. She's excited. It spreads. Break out the Prozac. Knicks come from behind to beat the Bulls 93-89. Ooh. Orlando beat Houston. Milwaukee over Atlanta. Dallas beat Cleveland. Charlotte beat Portland. College hoops in Las Cruces. Seth Greenberg and Big West leader Long Beach State taking on New Mexico State. First half, 49ers in Brown. Terrence Kelly hits for 3. He led Long Beach with 16. 49ers lead by 3. But Not for long. Troy Brewer hits the three for the Aggies. He had 18 in the game. Later, nice passing to Clyde Jordan for the lay-in. Long Beach State loses 73-69. They're tied with Utah State 13-4 atop the Big West. Final seconds of a 7th grade game in San Francisco. St. Brandon's the inbound, stolen by West Portal. Got to just heave it up there, and oh, it doesn't go. But Jimmy Costello, who inbounded in the first place, throws it back and hits the full-court shot to give St. Brandon's the web.
7th grade.
Hockey, the Kings and Mighty Ducks have the night off. In Boston, Claude Lemieux and Dave Reed saying, this could be the start of a beautiful friendship. Bruins hosting New Jersey, scary moment. Tommy Albaline gets a face full of puck. He's okay. Well, it's okay as you can be with a face full of puck, and he did stay in the game. Big night for Boston's Brian Smolinski. Scores 3 times, hat trick, first time for him. Boston wins 7-2. Winners tonight in the NHL were Detroit and San Jose, along with Buffalo and Washington. Tampa Bay won. Florida and Philadelphia tied. Boston won. Vancouver and Calgary tied. Finally, in golf, there were birdies and eagles and a hungry seagull at the Doral in Miami. The gull in question thought he spotted a tasty morsel dropped by a tourist. But that's Payne Stewart's fairway shot on number 9. Not proper golf etiquette. No. Stewart was given a drop, so there was no penalty. You don't want to say drop around a seagull. If I'm the bird, I don't get too near Payne's backswing on that one. He might have been a little tense.
Yes, he might have.
That's
okay.
sports.
Thanks a lot, Brett. Now stick around because this is for you. House hunting? Have we got a place for you?
And wait till you see who's selling his home.
Carol's remembers warm afternoons and barbecues. You're going to love our Smoky Mountain barbecue ribs with a honey and molasses sauce, just $7.99. Carol's, still as good as it was. Remember breakfast on the farm? It was as big as a day's work ahead. Come to Carol's for our all-you-can-eat breakfast. All for just $3.99. Carol's, still as good as it was.
One reason Ford is #1 in California is people. I'm Kurt Miner. This is Ford Today.
And I'm Jan Radcliffe.
Andrew McKenzie has asthma. It even prevented him from riding in the car.
That is until Andrew's mom, Marina, wrote a letter to Ford. John Carey, a Ford service engineer working on the new micronair filtration system, got the letter.
I contacted the McKenzies and suggested that we might be able to help them out.
To have somebody phone and say, well, we've got this system all set up for you and we're coming out to install it in your vehicle was more than I could ask for. It was great.
Here's a chance to do something good, and I feel that Ford Motor Company stands behind things like that.
Then I could do anything in the car.
This micronair system is standard in the new Ford Contour.
Another good reason why Ford is #1 in California. Drive safely.
Falling price. What would it sound like?
A crash. Whack. The prices do fall. They fall.
First it's like 12, then it goes to 10, then it goes to 9.
It was $25.96, now only $22.96. It was $59.76, it is now $54.97. It was $28.96, it's now $24.96. We like our customers and we want to give them a good deal. Watch for fire prices.
Going house shopping this weekend, how about buying the house of Old Blue Eyes? Start spreading the news. Frank Sinatra has put his Palm Springs estate up for sale. This is Sinatra's 6,100 square foot Rancho Mirage estate. The home comes furnished. You get to sit in Frank's chair, and it's expected to be sold quickly. The Sinatras might even be your new neighbors because they're planning to buy a smaller house in the same area.
And a new star tonight at the Seattle Zoo. It's a wallaroo, a baby wallaroo, kangaroo-like marsupial from Australia. This baby may look big to you. That's because it's been growing in its mother's pouch for some time.
Whoa, poor mother. Okay, that's it for us tonight. Do not forget, Today in L.A., that's at 5:36 and 6:30 a.m.
And now stay tuned for The Tonight Show, the #1 late-night talk show in Southern California.
Yes, indeed, tonight, Jay welcomes Will.